Wednesday night, guys. We're 5 p.m. Pac time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's going on, John?
Not much. I'm getting excited about Phoenix. We're still busy here. My state's getting a little crazy with all the politics, because Trump's 40 minutes down the road where he grew up, so it's going to be interesting. But I am so looking towards the Phoenix. My guys are starting a condo complex Monday. They'll be doing that for a few weeks, and things are going good. Ron, how about you?
Oh, it's going great, man. It's going great. Finally, the weather broke here, man. It's not 100 degrees. We had our last day of 100 degrees straight.
That's crazy.
Last Wednesday, man. It was nuts. But nighttime has been fabulous out. I don't know what the temperatures are in New York right now, but we're enjoying some cool weather at night, and it's been good stuff. Been able to get back on the bike this week. Rode a few miles. I know it's not a big deal. Everybody goes like, "Oh, you only rode 5 miles on a bike." Hey, that's a start for a fat guy like me.
I haven't done that in 30 years, so.
Yeah, right. So, anyways, I got to get some wind, man. I was like, I took a flight of stairs and I couldn't breathe. I was like, okay, man, that's it. I'm not gonna be able to speak at the Phoenix event if I don't start doing some swimming or something like that. Well, guys, tonight, right? We got a special guest tonight. Let me set this up a little bit. We call him Mr. Rust, F9 Restorations. We're gonna let him tell us a little bit about his own little bio. But just a real recap here, guys. We got an event coming up. This is why we're doing the garage cleaning live. John's doing his little private event, which is paid. It's on a Saturday, November 14th. Starts at 1 o'clock, runs until 5 or 6 or whenever we get done. You can go to Clean County. The link's right there on the bottom of this video, guys. It's right there. Clean County Garage Cleaning Class. Google it. You'll be able to hit right on it. If you want to get involved in that, there's like 5 or 6 more seats left. You've done this thing out of the water and pretty much.
Look, you see this?
That's it.
I have 36 seats sold. We can go to 45, and then we got to stop it.
It's done. And we got 3 weeks left. John's never sold so many seats for garage cleaning in all of his life. I mean, this event's done real well for him. That's awesome, John. I love it. Then we've got the 4th annual F9 Restorations event. This is a hands-on partial classroom. It's about half and half classroom, half hands-on from Craig Harrison and F9 Restorations. I'm going to do a little 3-hour little environmental. We're going to do some sales, and we're going to talk about commercial cleaning. That's something I do on one of the mornings. We're going to go over that schedule with Craig. We're going to bring Craig right in right now. Guys, give Craig Harrison a warm welcome. How you doing?
There he is. What's up, guys? Great to see you.
There he is, the man.
Let me turn this in a second.
Hey, Craig.
So we got some guys in here. John, what's up? Jeff, Matthew, Trudy, how you doing? One of our good dealers out there in the Panhandle of Florida. How you guys been?
We're good, man. We're good. Tell these folks a little bit about Craig Harrison. Give us a little bio there, Craig.
About who?
A little bit about.
All right, I'm the spotlight.
Some guy in my hat. This guy here.
Harrison. That is me. That's I. So, pretty interesting life. I won't get into the whole nuts and bolts of everything, but grew up in northern Wisconsin. I started actually washing when I was 13, 14 years old for a golf course. Started washing off the golf carts, and all that stuff. And as most of you guys know, I'm an avid golfer. Would have loved to go pro at golf if I could have, but Dave Duvall and Tiger Woods, and there's a whole plethora of guys out there that would just absolutely whip my butt. So stayed on the golf course. Still wanted to become a golf pro, but that didn't quite work out. So it's just kind of funny. I was the assistant superintendent. I was the youngest in the state at the age of 21. At 22, I moved to Southern California and, try to get a job.
Sorry about that.
What's that?
I'm sorry you moved to California.
I'm not there now.
Good man.
Yeah, I feel, California is its own animal. So moved out of there 5 years ago, came out here to Arizona. But I got back into washing and restoration and stuff like that. So really, I never really gave up the wand ever since I was a kid, basically, and even had a part-time business washing out in Wisconsin. And I kind of started that up when I was in California just a little bit. So it's just kind of ironic that fast forward how many years later, 20, 23, 24 years later, I still kind of tie in. I mean, as you know, the company's Front Nine Restoration, and it has its seed beginnings with washing off the golf carts. And even back then, I remember my superintendent, or the manager, whoever it was at the time, they'd asked me to get this. They thought it was rust from the golf carts that was on the asphalt and on the concrete and stuff like that. So when I got back into washing, I'd go, and we had a lot of golf courses out there in Southern California. With PJ West, Bighorn. We had the Battle of Bighorn out there with David Duval, and Tiger Woods way back when. So at the time I was doing, I had a Pulte, Lennar, KB, Rowlington, and K. Hovnanian. So I started my business out there in 98, and within about 3.5 years, we're to the point where we were doing 30, 40, 50, 60 jobs a day sometimes. Wow. So we grew really quick. But what happened is all of these new homes, as you guys know, the new construction boom of 2002, 3, and 4, all these new homes are going up. Everybody's moving to California, everybody in Arizona, and all over the country. It was great. So we had all these jobs, and the superintendents wanted me to remove, again, the rust on the driveways. And I knew from when I was a kid, I kind of saw this stuff and had a little piece. So anyway, long story short, tried everything under the sun. Nothing would work. So we took matters in our own hands. We had some concrete coatings. We had probably 2 to 3 million square feet of driveways as a playground every single year that we could wash off and try different products on, trying to remove these battery stains. And not all of it was battery stains. Sometimes there were paint stains, stucco, mortar, new construction type of stuff. So we ended up, it took almost 6 years, hired a couple of chemists at the time. We figured out what's now known as the F9 Bark product. And then from there and over time and through washing, we, or I say we, every time I'm out there, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a perfectionist. So I would see different stains that had similar patterns as far as how they were removed. So with the chemist and the chemical formulators I had at the time, that's the book right there. That's part of the pattern. And there's
the Bible right there.
That's the F9 cookbook, baby. If you guys haven't seen it, right there, that's a 100-page restoration Bible, a guidebook for our 4 products. But I saw patterns, and I, jot down everything and all the notes. So over time,
I have a question.
Yeah.
You can answer.
Please stop my rambling. I
want to hear what inspired you to start F9 Restoration. But you can go ahead and finish your Bible.
As far as, well, we'll get into the cookbook. I mean, the processes and formulations and repeatable, actionable patterns of putting down your process dilution application. The same type of process can be applied for various things, whether it's concrete, bricks, pavers, tile, stone. So we ended up formulating 4 products, the Double Eagle, the Efflo, the Bark, and the Groundskeeper, and they're all very different. But together, or, each product can do about 20 to 30 to 40 different things, depending on which one it is. But together they form a family, and you really should have all 4 on your trucks. They're very safe. And they can be used to remove and clean over 140 different types of stains on just about every type of surface. So you have the book there.
John, did you make the cookbook? Did you make the cookbook, John?
What's that?
Did you make the cookbook?
Me?
I'm in the cookbook, baby. That's my page right there.
Well, maybe after Phoenix, I'll get the cookbook.
Yeah, I got a cookbook here too. Oh wait, that's not the cookbook. Wait a minute, that's the cookbook.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say he's got no cookbook.
That was good. That was good.
All right, sorry guys. I'm all in. So Front Nine, that's a funny story too. I don't want to ramble on your show a whole lot, but basically my 3rd daughter was being born, and I didn't want to be out there in the hustle and the grind of getting more and more clients and stuff like that. So I figured, what better way to kind of help out our local market there and the golf courses and the inns that I had, but to come out with the F9 Bark product. So that was the first product we came out with in 2012. And then it took about 4 years to launch all the rest of the product. So that's kind of, why it was born and the story, and everything evolves. Just like all you guys out there with cleaning companies, you just try to do the best thing you can for your company, for your family, for your employees, for your the people you're doing business for, homeowners or commercial. And one thing leads to another over time. I had no idea 8 years ago that I would have to write this book. And this book was in my mind for about 2 years before I actually sit down. I was telling people 2 years before I actually wrote it that I was writing it. So, 2 years.
I want to see the original copy.
Oh, I can show you. Have Lonnie come in the office. The original copies are about 50 pages of just white circles, arrows. I don't know how much you can see that, but
yeah, keep the original. It'll be worth a lot of money one day.
What's that?
The original copy would be worth a lot of money one day. Don't give that one up.
Yeah. Who knows?
Hey, Frank, I wanted to ask you: did you ever deal with, before you created your products? There's a lot of harsh stuff out there, like hydrofluoric acids and stuff like that, the muriatics. Did you ever play with those? Deal with those first?
More than anybody knows. There's a reason for everything, right? And whether it's HF or caustics, ammonium bifluorides, blended my own oxalic acid, hydrochloric, the different clarified types and forms of hydrochloric, muriatic, the dirtier hydrochloric acid, and in different strengths,
right,
like 31, 32% in different things. But I kind of use my chemistry background, biology background, and I used to blend all kinds of stuff for the golf course because we're using insecticides and pesticides and different things like that. So it wasn't a big deal for me just to put a big tote together and get a stir stick and a paddle and start formulating my own thing. So all the products I came up with probably 85 to 90% of just about everything and how they work, and formulated them for my own cleaning company. A lot of people don't realize I'm not a chemist that just threw some stuff together and said, here you go, here's some hydrochloric acid, go, spray it on some pavers. Everything I do is extremely calculated, and they were formed and reformulated over years and years of use. Like the bark, it's probably reformulated 1,000 times, if not more. So dealing with those harsh chemicals, Ron, we just couldn't expand our business. We found niches with battery stain removal and calcium, efflorescence, calcium carbonate, calcite. We do a lot of stuff with the American Disability Act and insurance companies and stuff like that. And if we're out there trying to remove calcium carbonate, which is very slippery, and we talk about this in one of my classes, it's one of the niche type of things that we do, is working for the insurance companies, for like the Marriotts or the Westons or some of the hotel chains. But when you're dealing with something very slippery and has a coefficient of friction, that's how slippery the surface is. It's very slippery. We're removing that, getting paid good money to do it. We're doing it in the nature of health and safety, and we're health and safety cleaners.
Yeah.
We can't be out
I knew you were going to say that.
Hydrochloric acid that travels for 50 yards and gets somebody sick, or somebody's sitting on a pool, bathing out there with their kids or whatever. Or if you're in a residential setting, you have your homeowner, and the stuff can filter in through the windows. And now, even as a kid, I was pretty, kind of allergic to different things, and people have a lot of allergies. And it's fine. If you want to go out there, you want to use whatever you want to use. I mean, everybody's different. I'm not telling you not to. But for my personal experience, it just wasn't worth it anymore. Because I knew if I took one whiff of a product, I'd be dead. Literally, it can, cause some really serious stuff that I wouldn't recommend anybody would ever go through. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody.
And you brought up that health and safety. And I talked to Craig back when the pandemic, the epicenter was here, 40 minutes down the road. And because of the health and safety you talked about, Craig, it turns out we have Starbucks accounts in New York City, and I didn't send my crew out there because 800 people. New York City's a mess. That's such a liberal disaster out there. But Starbucks was allowing us, if we wanted to go out there because they sold it to the contractor or to the powers to be. It was health and safety. And you said that first. The health and safety on the sidewalks, that was a big thing.
That was one of the niche things, that we were masters of. Back in 2002 and 3 is when we really started to hit that hard. People don't realize it. And they call me up for our products, but they call me up for, hey, Craig, how do I use this soft wash booster pump on this, polycapsid magma, whatever. I don't do bleach. I've sprayed maybe 2 gallons of bleach in my entire life.
Wow.
So I'm not the bleach guy by any stretch of the imagination, but we deal with everything else, the toughest of the tough, in one of the harshest environments, from the efflorescence and the sun. And we have oil that's baked from, sometimes the concrete's 200 to 300 degrees. And everything is just really nasty and hard to get up. So we don't do the organic, but we do everything inorganic. Everything.
Well, how big is organic staining in California? Because you know what, California seems like it never rains. Over here on Long Island, it's so damp and humid.
Yeah.
And Florida's way worse.
Yeah.
But you get the algae come up, and bleach knocks that right out. But it's organic.
Yeah.
I don't deal with that as much.
Yeah, rate of hydration. I live in the desert. I live in South. Well, I was in Southern California, and now in Phoenix. So, yeah, we barely have mold in our showers. You know, I mean, it's just almost non-existent. They're self-cleaning showers.
Yeah.
I blow in there every once in a while, and away we go.
Yeah, well, you got the best air, and from what I understand, I have relatives out. When I go to the F9 event, the main reason I'm going out there, Ron asked me to do it, but my nephew just had a baby, the first child. Yeah. And I know the air quality there is great. That people, a lot of senior citizens go there. And I know the time of year you're having your event. There's no better place in America than Arizona for like 5 months in the wintertime.
Hey, John, I got to interrupt you. I just heard the doorbell and the dogs. This means that Craig's living room is getting tore up.
He's got to answer to somebody.
Hey, guys, we got about 10 kids coming over in the next 10 minutes. Just letting you know.
Answer to somebody.
Yeah, we take turns. I got to help out 3 of my girls out with their homework.
Oh, yeah.
Going to play. Yeah.
I got 2 girls, and I know how that goes.
It turns into a circus.
Yeah.
But, you know, even going back to the whole health and safety thing, John, you know, and even if we did organic, I would be hitting that angle. And something eventually we're going to buy is it's a device called a tribometer. And that tribometer is what the insurance companies measure how slippery that surface is. And that's for the traction level. The traction level is called coefficient of friction. There's a whole direction, I think, as an industry that we should be taking as far as health and safety cleaning. And just about everything we do, or most of the things we do, could be classified and quantified into some of those elements of health and safety, whether it's inorganic or organic.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and it's coming, and that's going to shine a light really on what we do. And I tell people we're health and safety cleaners. Literally, we save people's lives. Not only when we come down to coefficient of friction, you know, and the whole COVID thing with sanitization, disinfecting, and stuff like that, which is great, you know, but we're very blessed to be in the industry we are, where in order to put one of those things down, concrete or whatever, it's got to be clean first. But slippery surfaces are a big deal. You know, you don't say, hey, I'm going to clean that up and make it look great. The first thing we hit is the coefficient of friction, the health and safety factor under American Disability Act, you know, and premises liability is another huge factor. But those are the things, guys, where if you're coming to our class, you're going to learn all about it. We're going to give you some really good tools to use to really separate yourself from your competition and just make you the next level cleaners.
You know what? I just want to add one thing. I know Craig's got to run, but health and safety is so important. I remember Craig brought this up on your bulletin board, Ron, Pressure Washing Institute, around 2009-ish. Somewhere around there, you started to bring that up, and I didn't even buy into that. I was like, what is he talking about? It's all about cleaning. He's talking health and safety. Now, when you jump years ahead, you were way ahead of the curve, because over here we get mold and mildew, and you can slip on a walkway with that. You can slip on wood. That's health and safety. But I'll tell you something. When my guys clean in Manhattan, I cannot send one guy out there, even if it's a small job. It's got to be 2. The second guy has to be out there to watch the foot traffic, because the slip and falls is the big thing. They can slip. They can trip over the hoses. We got to put cones up, and the walkways get very, very slippery. And now what Craig said, health and safety, that's for organics and every other stain. That's absolutely. The industry should, you know, me and Craig had this conversation 5 months ago. Our industry should jump on that, because that makes us, even with insurances and everything else, makes us proactive, and we get noticed for this stuff, because we're really protecting people's lives. Think about it.
It'll catch on. It's a growing industry. I mean, it's kind of in its infant stage as far as, you know, but it's an exploding industry. And, you know, we really need to get educated on what we really do, because I think a lot of people are missing the boat in a lot of different ways. But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Hey, Craig, before you go, there's a couple of questions here I'm going to put up, but let's go through. I put the link into the event. It's free, and let's just talk about the F9 part, because you are limited on time. Okay. So on the first night, everybody comes in on the 12th, and there's a social, and the social is inside. It's at the hotel at the lounge at 6 p.m.
Yep.
That usually breaks up when guys are they're done networking, right?
Yeah. We'll be setting up. So I mean, if anybody's there who wants to lend a hand, but we're setting up in the ballrooms, is pretty much right next to where the social is. So I'll be bouncing in and out if anybody has questions, whatnot. So
and then at 8 a.m. the next day, we meet in the ballroom, right?
Correct. Yep.
8 a.m. And then we meet there for a short time period. We're saying like they should probably meet at 10 or 15 till the hour, right?
Yep. 7:45. Meet down there in the ballroom.
And at 8 o'clock, we go out and we do a little. This is like pre-show stuff. We do a little. We're going to talk about environmental. We're going to talk about some sales. We're going to talk about some commercial cleaning. That's pretty much going to be outside of the ballroom, and it'll be a hands-on thing. We're going to walk them through some of the property. There's actually a cool thing there because there's 3 different properties, so we can explain to them how the environmental and the
it's pre-show, but don't underestimate the importance of what's happening there. And Dave Vaughn, he's my subcontractor in Southern California, immense amount of knowledge as far as what he's doing out there. So it's a great way for these guys to learn. You teach a lot of really important stuff that morning. So
he and Jerry McMillan will both be there. So it'll be the 3 of us. Abundance of knowledge in 3 different categories. So that's cool. And then we basically, after that, we're going to be going to lunch. And then we come back into the ballroom, and that starts your portion of the training at 1 o'clock.
Yep. I think right around 12:15.
12 o'clock, 12:15.
We'll start that. I have a PowerPoint to do about an hour and a half or so, and we have a ton of new announcements, really cool stuff that we're super proud of. A lot of great show specials and stuff like that. Marco Ramonda, he'll be down there. He has a great class. Jerry McMillan has his wash water, BMT, stormwater compliance, all types of stuff. Leilani will kind of, and Leilani's my new office manager. Freaking super awesome. Shout out to Leilani. Awesome. Oh my God, the girl is worth the weight in gold.
She's a wizard. She's
phenomenal. She's phenomenal. Yep, Leilani Austin. If you don't know her, thank you, Leilani. So she'll be kind of going over the new announcements and what we're doing as far as the programs, the authorized applicators, some things with our new distribution program that we have going on, new website coming up. Wow. Labels, you guys. Oh my God, we have something awesome coming up that looks beautiful. Everybody's going to like. So, and I think you're wrapping up basically with your commercial sales, and yeah, that's a great class too. It's a great class.
There's a lot going on, man. I'm supposed to visit my family, because the newborn's there, but I'm gonna have to get away from that and see all this stuff. I'm excited about the news.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we do a social again, and we're going to be doing it on property again, or where we?
Yeah, we'll start on property, and then we'll have a couple different places for people to break away to.
Okay, cool. Yep. So we'll do that night.
Fred, first question: the day before.
Hold on. The next morning, we meet again in the ballroom, but this is for the outside portion, right?
Yes, extremely important. Yes. So the next morning, it's hands-on.
Okay.
Not so hands-on where people are going to need to bring boots and gloves and glasses and rain suits and canoes and everything else. I mean, this is hands-on where you come in and we're basically showing you the ins and outs and the uses of our products. It's I would say it's a basic course, but there's elements where if you've been in business for 20 or 30 years, you're going to walk away extremely happy with what we have to show you.
Nice.
Because with the processes and different things that we can do, that is just the cherry on top of what you guys, some of you guys, what you do. It's amazing. Little tricks of the trade. I had guys who've been in business for 30 years who are just absolutely blown away at how it looks. So hands-on from about 8 until 11:30. Might go a little bit later. Sometimes it does. Then after that is our break, and then I think it's all you, John, for your course.
It's all you, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But Craig, just go back for a second. On the 12th, you said there's a social that night. That's on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And what time is that?
Yep. About 6.
Okay. And the other thing is, will guys, is there any kind of special or anything on F9 products or anything at the event?
I can't advertise them, so I'll just do it real quick.
I'm buying that. I just saw it. Ron, slow it down.
Legally, we have things in place. I can't advertise.
Okay, great.
There's specials on everything. We're getting at least a couple pallets of product in, some sprayers in, so everybody's going to be happy. You can leave with product. We have show specials where we ship it as well. So if a lot of people flying in, you can't take it with you, we can go ahead and ship it. So
nice. Excellent.
Absolutely.
I got a couple of questions, and then we will let you.
Questions? I don't do questions.
I also clean homes. Can any of the
Wait,
F9
stop.
products,
You what? Okay.
I also clean inside of homes. Can any of the F9 products be used indoors? I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, sure you can. Ventilation is key depending on which product you're using and for what purpose. So it looks like this is Richard. So say, I mean, the one that would give you the most amount of problems probably would be the F9 bark if you're trying to remove some rust or something in a tub. But then if you are, you're going to dilute it like 5 or 6 or 8 to 1, so the fumes of stuff stay down. But in a bathroom in an enclosed space, if you don't have any type of vent or something, I mean, you need to have air movement coming through there. Or get some type of little floor fan, you know, like the tile and carpet guys do. But you can use all of our products indoors, but you either need to call me first. I mean, if you're doing a commercial application, the products need to be diluted down enough to where you can use them indoors, because, you know, all products have fumes and different things. And sometimes I would say, I mean, it's kind of a mixed loaded question. Yes, you can use them indoors, but very carefully, very cautiously, and know exactly what you're using it for. And also know if there are other products that were sprayed on that floor before you use our products. So if somebody goes and they're spraying bleach or caustic or whatever, you know, all day long on a commercial kitchen, you know, don't just go in there and not know what's on the floor and start spraying some other chemicals, because that's where you can get in trouble, especially for inside.
That's a good point.
Next question. We have a lot of efflorescence to get rid of. Which F9 product should I use? Pretty basic question.
Yeah, put a F9 in front of that name and you have it. So the F9 efflorescence and calcium remover is, thank you, Matthew, for that question. The short name is F9 Efflo. Stands for efflorescence and calcium remover, and that's what you can use on all forms of your alkali, your lime, your red clay, your mud, your depending what form of efflorescence you have, whether it's powdery, primary, secondary, calcium carbonate, calcite. There's many different forms that you can use it on. So again, the F9 cookbook.
Right here. I'm just looking at that. It's in there.
Your Bible, that is your reference, because even when you use the product on that surface, there's 9 different charts, 9 different chapters, depending on what surface that you're using it on and how you use the product and whether you need to neutralize it. That's all in the book.
Hey, so Greg, let me ask you fast about this book.
What's
How
that?
thick is this paper? I never seen laminated paper this thick.
You know what the test was?
Look at this thing.
Drop this in a pool. I dropped this in a pool for 2 minutes. That's how I knew I'd like this laminate. I went through about 15 different laminates. I dropped this one in a pool, took it out about 30 seconds later, and I still read it. None of the pages delaminated. It was not like brand new, but it was about 80%.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Ron? My wife is doing all the certifications and everything. Not certifications, the certificates and all the vendor discounts. She's got thick paper, and she's like, "Where the hell did he get this stuff?"
It ain't cheap.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, I have a question. Does the online version have pictures on Groundskeeper?
I don't know. It might. Yep. That's the most updated one. Yeah, that one. Go back a page. You'll see your picture depending on what it's for.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I think
not for breaking favors.
You have the F9
I've got an old laminate.
Yeah. They're better off getting the book.
What's that?
Because my guys, you know, the app, they have to go on a phone. It could be in an area, no signal, and the book is there. They can look at it and they know what to do.
Yeah.
And I wish they would take more pictures. We use the F9 all the time, the bark, and they never take the pictures. It's just what they do. They get in, they get out. They get in, they get out. But this is what I would recommend, Craig. I don't know if you know the great. I want the hard copy.
Dude, there's literally 20 years of blood, tears, sweat, energy, and effort, and a lot of money that went into developing the products and the processes. And people don't realize, you know, it's not just, hey, you know, put this diluted and, you know, here, spray it down. It gives you, if you can read and you can go out there and, you know, spray something down, you'll have 20 years of knowledge in the book. I mean, it can make your pro, you know, double-edged sword there, but it's probably the most helpful resource as far as inorganic staining, I would say, in the world, or, you know, here in the U.S., it's very, very helpful.
And the best thing is, you got a lot of pictures in here too. I like pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, pictures. Pictures tell 1,000 stories.
Yeah.
Denny's menu.
So, I mean, we have the book. This is by far the easiest thing to learn from. It's there. You can take it with you at night. A lot of guys read it before you go to bed. And the reason the app was created is for those guys that left the book home in bed and they didn't have it the next day, when they're out there in the field.
What does a book like this cost? About $300? What does this cost?
It's $199. Yep, I was doing $199.
I'm going to tell you something. We do rust removal jobs, and we get paid top dollar. When my guys do a job, it take a half an hour, 45 minutes. It could be $800 job.
Sure.
This book, what is it? $199?
Yeah, $199.
Oh my God! I mean, come on, it's money in the bank.
Dude, 20 years ago, John and Ron. I mean, you guys know. If we would have had the resources we do now,
oh God,
everything trial and error. I probably spent over 6 figures, well over 6 figures in products that didn't work, or that got us sick. I had an entire RV size storage unit full of chemicals, and guess what? Wasted money. We've got 4 products that work, that are proven, that are safe, that have a manual to show you how to do everything from pre-rinsing and post-treating, the process solution application, order of cleaning, dangers, side notes, cautions, things to be aware of. I want to make sure it was extremely precise. Just try to give people what I wish I would have had 20 years ago.
God. And you know what? I bet you any amount of money, you might not answer this question, but I bet you put your health at risk trying to figure things out.
Oh, I did.
Because you know what? I use strong chemicals too. We never use the hydrofluoric acids because I know some people I think I know one person that died and 3 or 4 people got screwed up for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
I never used the hydrofluoric acids, but we used the muriatics. And I know a lot of bad stories. And what people don't realize is you did a lot of trial and error, I'm sure, to get to where you got to here.
Tons
and that is worth its weight in gold. Because now they got the book. You don't have to be a Dr. Einstein in there mixing things up because you can seriously blow yourself to pieces.
Yeah. The mixing, and you just want one whiff of a pool acid. People go out there and they talk about it and they spray it. And you guys got to realize there's a lot of people with sensitivities, whether it's from food or if a bee sting can kill a person, right? And I know firsthand because I took a whiff, and I tell people in my class about the story. I don't mention any names of the products, but one cleaner, and put me in the hospital for 10 days. Had a 6-figure plus medical bill. Almost lost my life, and I got to think quite a bit about what I wanted to do, and make a couple cleaners that were safe enough for me to use and our employees to use. That was at the top of my list because there's nothing else I could have done.
It's amazing.
As far as work and make the kind of money that we do. So that was another big motivating factor or force and kind of pushing me to go back and do it. It wasn't an overnight thing. This stuff took about 10 years to come up with all this stuff.
Yeah, it's all about health and safety, to go back to what you said earlier. And you want chemicals that work great, but the most important thing is, when I was a police officer, the most important thing was to go home alive, right? You don't want to get yourself, you don't go home. Your chemicals, we use them, they're safe compared to what's out there, and you can make a lot of money. So the safety factor's there and the money's there. It's a win-win.
Yeah. And I mean, you guys know my cell phone's probably given out more than just about anybody in the industry. People can call me at 5 o'clock in the morning, or
you pick up the phone. I don't pick up the phone.
Yeah,
you and Ron pick up the phone. I don't pick up the phone. But that's me.
Yeah. Well, you probably have people to pick up the phone for you, but hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Guys, I got to head out. I got
all right.
a couple now.
Great show, Craig.
Yeah, I
can't wait to see you meeting, buddy.
Yep. God bless you. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who uses our products, everybody who's in our Facebook group. If you don't know, Front 9 Restoration Professionals is our Facebook group. Come there. We've got quite a few members, a lot of great board of people there to help you out if I'm not there. You can also catch my cell number on that as well. You can call me direct, text me pictures. I'm here for you, got your back. And I will be for as long as we have a chemical line. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Craig.
All right.
See you soon, buddy.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, guys, Craig Harrison, man, is completely an awesome guy. One of the only guys I think in the industry. I mean, John, you can call the guy. Get his cell phone. I mean, he's going to put it out there in the public.
I'm going to tell you, Ron, there's only 2 guys.
Crazy.
2 guys that I know does that. I know you done it because you and I would call each other 3, 4 in the morning years ago. And Craig, Yeah, Craig would pick up that phone. I know. I saw Craig years ago on stuff.
We'll
Matter of
answer the
fact,
phone.
the health and safety thing. Me and
Hang on,
Craig.
John, I got a call coming. Hang on.
I got a call coming in. Okay, I just connected it.
No, man.
He knows his
John,
stuff.
I think tonight, I don't think we could. You know what? We could ramble on tonight. I think we should cut this baby short tonight.
Absolutely.
I think that having Craig on was great. I think I told you we would keep him on longer than he was going to.
Yeah, you got him in trouble. Look, when I see his wife, if she's going to be there, I'm going to say talk to Ron.
He told me a story. It was yesterday, I think, and he goes, at 20 after, man, I got to get out there because the doorbell's going to ring. There's going to be a bunch of kids out there.
I heard it. Ding, ding, ding.
He's got a pool table, and he's got a bag of talc, powder.
Right.
John, you're a pool player. And one day they were playing catch with the talc, and I guess the talc was all over the pool. They had it everywhere. The bag started leaking. Kids, man, go in the back. Boom, big old cloud of smoke. Oh, man, I can tell you.
He's good. He's a great guy.
No,
I know Craig for a long time. I met a lot of these guys on PWI, and we would talk on the phone. And I always talk about vetting people and stuff like that. And there's a guy I remember 20 years ago who was starting to come front and center, and here he is.
Yeah,
and this is stuff. As me and Ron, you guys are listening, me and Ron go further down the road. It's people like Craig that this is what we want to revolve around, really. We want to get around people like that because they know their trade. They are experts. Look, I know how to clean a garage. I'm very good at it. My guys are very good at it, but there are certain experts. And in our industry, the one person that comes to mind when it comes to concrete cleaning restoration work, bar none, is Craig Harrison. Bar none.
Yeah, there's nobody.
There's nobody.
It is really cool. He kind of downplays the, I think, the hands-on portion of it because, it's funny stuff, man. I've been doing this thing with him for 4 years now, and it's in our backyard because he lives here in Phoenix. I live in Phoenix. But I'm going to tell you, man, every time I see him do something on some type of different substrate with something, I'm like, wow. Because last year he made this. It was pretty wild. There was an iron railing, and I always have trouble with that when that.
Oh yeah, that's a bitch
on that stuff. And I mean, he flashed this, and this rust just completely right before our eyes, and everybody's just like, whoa.
You know what? We did a house wash. My guys did a house wash last month. I'm not kidding you. The house wash I think was like $395, but they had one problem. They had a rust stain that ran from the two-story house from the top. It was a line like this fat, and then it came all the way down, but it ran the whole length of the house. And what happened was I gave him a price for that because, you don't know, I knew Craig's stuff was going to work, but, these people had this for a long time, this building it. And I said $600, and they jumped on it. If only it all comes out. My guys used the F9 bark. They did use it at full strength. They just sprayed it on all the way down and rinsed it off. They were done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The homeowner wasn't home. What happened if Kathy was here? We do a lot of jobs and people aren't there. We work all the time. My guys work all the time. He came home, and what happened was they left a check with the guys. I had to go back there. I'm not kidding you. He left. He wanted to give a big tip to my guys, but little did he know, it really took 10 minutes to put this thing on, let it sit, and rinse it off. And I wish they took the picture.
This one here in the cookbook is pretty wild because this was a job with sort of a similar story. I mean,
is that you?
Yeah, you see the difference between these two right here. It's like crazy amazing.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But there was multiple contractors that came out, 6 contractors came out and did a test on this because that little step representation, it was only about 5% of the whole job. I mean, this thing was it was a huge place, and they had that. What was happening is water was running up over the top of those steps down into this huge fountain that they had on the property, and the entire thing. It was redo the fountain for some ridiculous $175,000, or get somebody to take an attempt at restoring it. And they had contractors come out and test it. and nobody could find the right products. We threw that bark on there, man, and that stuff just turned like back to the natural color, and it was like, and it was funny because we explained to them, hey, this stuff's not cheap, I mean,
I know.
And it's going to take a lot of gallons of it to do it, so, right away, people don't realize that on that restoration basis and in regular cleaning, the prices just go, through the roof when you're talking about learning how to store things.
Well, cleaning is one thing and restoration is a whole different animal. And talk about Craig Fast, he saw the pictures. And I'll tell you, people here from New York, my guys clean the oldest building for Hofstra University. If you guys remember, President Trump and Hillary Clinton debated in the Hofstra University here. We got called in there because it was an old building. It was dirty. But one of the problems I had was rust. And the brick was very, very soft. And I put the pictures up. It was $25,000, right about $25,000. We got done in 4 days. That's a lot of money for my company. I'm a small company. But what sold them was we did a couple samples. We went in there one day. I paid my guys to go in there, and they were there for maybe an hour. I always give my guys 8 hours, Ron, always. So they go in there, 2 guys, and went in there. They did some samples. I came, took some pictures, and then we sent them on our way to do some jobs. And when I sent that back to the powers to be, they were like, "You didn't take any of the whitish out of the brick. The brick is got like a white look to it. It's I forget what kind of brick you call it. I knew it then. This is only a few months ago. This is back in May. But my God, that the F9 bark took the rust. The building's like 70 years old. Took the rust out of the lamps on the top of the building, right out. And I was like, thank God they weren't there filming it and watching it because it went right out. Came right out. What a great year this has been. I tell you, with COVID-19, we lost, my wife and I, we're still down, we're going to be down probably 8% by the end of the year. But my guys from the pandemic epicenter, when it started back April 1st, every week they worked. Only 1 week was 3 days in a week. Every week we worked. The problem it hurt us was, just so you guys can know this, we have some nice large commercial accounts, and the commercial accounts were shut down. Some of them came back. Some of these were garages. So we got hurt, but I'm going to tell you, to be down 8%, the money that this company brings in, the 8% is. I'm not complaining. Believe me, I'm not complaining. And my garage class, Ron and I can probably do some more stuff in 2020. We're definitely doing more stuff. But that garage class, Jersey, I sold so many tickets that Jamie, is doing it with his this here, the PW. Oh, actually, it was PWMCA. It got shut down over there. And they contacted Jamie. We were going to be held, you got to quarantine people. The Phoenix class, like Ron said, now it's probably going to be the biggest class I ever had. Ron said it already is. No, it's not. But here's the deal. Craig's going to have about 180 people at his event. And I'm going to probably have like
90's got 130?
180. He's at 130 already. He's probably got 200 people.
130.
200 people. And I got 45, 50 people coming to my class. Just to tell you how big that is for myself, and I also have Ron speaking of my class, that does add value. But when I did the bigger convention at 1,000 people, 1,200 people, I would sell 42, 43 tickets. This year, if you go by the ratio, if he was 1,000 people strong, and I think next year, Ron, we should work with Craig. I think he's going to be involved with stuff with thousands of people there. If you go by those ratio numbers, it's equivalent to me having 500 people in my class. So I'm very excited about Queens. Donald Trump's in my head. He's from Queens. I'm very excited about Brooklyn.
You have a Joe Biden moment?
Yeah, you know what? I do have those moments sometimes. I'm like, holy crap, I'm only 59 years old.
Poor Joe. No, man, I'm going to tell you, let's give Jamie a plug. On February, I think 13th, 14th, and 15th, the PWMC is going to have an event in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's a free event, guys. So go check out their website. I'll find them to throw it in here. Guys, they're having a free event. Marco Raimondo on February 9th, 10th, and 11th is having a free event in Houston, Texas. And it's at a beautiful place in Kemah, south of Houston there.
I might go there.
Right there on the Gulf, man. All the big boats. It's a beautiful place. And in February, it's nice weather. I mean, we've been there in February so often in Houston, and There's only one year we went there. We got a little freeze on the way there, but the next day it was beautiful out. You know what I mean?
You know my problem is, Ron. I work great with females in the industry. Girls that are they're smarter than I am, obviously. And I got Trudy, my co-admin in my concrete group. She's saying, "John, you got to go." And no, the bigger one is Christy White. That's the one. She
Yeah.
says, John, I've been to Texas a couple times. She goes, "You've got to be there." She's doing all my hats, all my masks.
John, we might as well just announce it here. You be doing a garage cleaning event in Houston. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't know. Ron, hold off. Like Craig had to answer to his boss. My boss, listen, guys, just so you know, I'm going to be with Ron in Phoenix and Craig, and I'm going to be in Florida, my winter home. I'm going to be in Florida Keys with my children, and we're going to be in Florida in January, February, and March. Now, I want to go. I'm probably going to go to the Houston event. I don't know what I'm going to teach, but I just want to go down there, and I may teach. I'm not going to say yet. Zip.
No, you can't. We can't until Phoenix is over.
No, I don't know yet.
Phoenix is over. When Phoenix is over, we'll know. When Phoenix is the biggest event that you've ever taught at, then it'll be that's it. Or the most seats you've ever
tightest, most
seats.
compact, most probably organized, and definitely the most educational event of that size.
I think, and here's the craziest thing in the world is, I think that the trend, John, and we're going to have a big event in Atlantic City. There's no secret about that.
Oh, no doubt about it.
But I think that the trend right now for, the next 6, 7, 8 months is
education.
Smaller, more intimate events that are going to go on, and a lot of this virtual stuff that we're doing right now. John, are we going to give anybody a tip tonight in closing? Because we got to hang this thing up. What are we going to do? You got a tip?
All right, here's the tip.
Don't talk to strangers.
No, here's the tip. Follow Ron because I'm not on the internet. Well, I am, but just keep an eye on me and Ron in 2021 because we got a lot of stuff on the table. We negotiate all the time. It's the art of the deal, if you will. So keep an eye on me and Ron and get to Phoenix if you can. Here on forward, I know myself. Ron's done it for years. I'm only surrounding myself with the best because, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I know to bring the best people around me. I know Ron's the best at what he does. He's the king of commercial sales in our industry, bar none. I'm not saying that because Ron's here. I was told that. And I know Ron for a long time. And Craig Harrison is the king of concrete cleaning restoration. There's nobody bigger than him as far as expert on that. So all I'm doing in 2021 is surrounding myself with the best and keep an eye on Ron and myself. And that's my big tip.
Awesome. We're going to kill it, John. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
inevitable.
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. Yep. This is going to be a great event. We're going to have some fun.
And you know what? Get your closer hats.
Hopefully you get away. You know what, man? I'm going to give a couple closer hats away tonight. Let's see. Let's see if somebody can type in if they want a closer hat. Type in. I'm going to give the first 3 people that type in they want a closer hat. Let's see if anybody types in they want to close that. Look, no one's going to type in they want to close that. So we'll have to watch this feed and say who are the people who really want to close their hat. It's that simple. All they got to do is say right now I want a closer hat, and the next 3 people I'm going to give them a closer hat. Let's see.
Hey, you know what? On my garage class, I talked to Ryan Vitata the other day, and Ryan Vitata I talked to Heraclean. Mm-hmm. Wait till you guys see the prices that they gave for the look. I'm going to tell you the Whisper Wash Classic is barely over $600. They gave me the greatest deals in this stuff. I got the best vendors. I've always worked with the best vendors. I surround myself with the best vendors. There's a lot of stuff there. And my class, I was telling Ron, because I don't want to get Craig in trouble. I'm not going to do it. 45. We're going to top this thing off. My class. That's
Truth Seeker, PM me. Jeff Mays, PM me. Kyle Carter, PM me. Pete
Perfect.
Did not want one.
Trudy's got one already.
Another one.
Trudy, give it up.
Matthew Grossman, go ahead and PM me. That's it. Those 5 guys. PM me
5?
right now, and we'll get out 5 closer hats, guys.
I'm going to bankrupt Ron hanging out with me. 5
man.
of them. Wow.
Fine.
These aren't cheap hats.
Hey, next week, wait till we have the closer shirt. I actually want to call it the winner shirt. Well, should we call it the winner shirt or the closer shirt?
I don't know. Maybe that's a tough one. Closer.
Let's see what Trudy says. Trudy, should we call it the winner shirt or the closer shirt? Which one? We got the closer hat. I think we should call it the winner shirt.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the winner shirt. You know why? Because I know what's going to happen on November 3rd, and it's going to be the winners. Winner shirt.
The winners. Landslide.
Time to start winning again.
And look, Shane stole her hat, so she's got to get another hat.
I want to get Trudy on. Let's get Trudy on maybe next week.
Okay. Trudy's on next week. Trudy, you're on. You heard that? Trudy is on.
Spoke to her. She's a great admin. She's a great admin. One of the best I've ever had.
Let's get Jerry and Trudy on next week. Let's have them all. Let's have 4 of them on. We'll get Jerry McMillan. We'll get Trudy on.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about Panhandle and what she's doing with that coming down to the Phoenix Met. And we'll talk about Jerry. He can give us a little bit of insight on what he's doing at the show as far as wash water control and BMPs and things like that.
And Ron, you got to be able to talk. Ron's always pushing me, John, we got to go. We got to go. If you're going to get Jerry on and Trudy, we got to go. We have to go at least an hour.
We've gone 51 minutes right now.
I know. You never go more than 45. Ron's like, I'm out of here. Let's go to 9 o'clock. Let's talk 7 more minutes. Then I got to run too. Let me just tell you guys, I'm not saying this because Craig was here tonight. You got to get – look, I saw Craig in Nashville. I've seen Craig quite a few times. I'm going to tell you guys, listen, the one thing I'm very good at, look at me. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Trudy says she's camera shy. Hey, Trudy.
No, Trudy, you're coming on. So am I. I don't like to speak.
All you got to do next week is just wear a mask. No one will know. Wear a mask. Just put the mask on. There we go. We just incited a riot here. So,
hey, I don't want to say anything positive about Donald Trump, but he did help me and Babe Ruth's granddaughter get the Presidential Medal of Freedom for Babe Ruth. That's all I'm going to say.
You got to love it. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Babe Ruth, great ball player, man. I mean,
the best. Him and Michael Jordan. Listen, LeBron James not even in this.
Kids,
Michael Jordan and Babe Ruth are 1 and 2 all the way around. If you look at all the polls, who's the greatest athlete ever come out of America? And both of them have the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Ali's got to be up there, though. Ali's got to be up there.
Ali is up there. Top. You're right, Ron. The top 3 of those guys. Any poll, you can see Ruth, Jordan, Ali, or Jordan, Ruth, Ali, or Ali. But the one thing I can say, this, I have my Babe Ruth stuff you can see on the wall back there. Babe Ruth was so dominant that when he was hitting these home runs, maybe back then it was 24 teams, he had more home runs in a year than 18 of those teams did. The guy was so off the charts. But you know what, Michael? I love Michael Jordan. And Linda's watching this thing. She's like, John, I'm not really a fan of him because he passes up Babe Ruth sometimes. And Ali, what can you say about Ali? The guy was sting like a butterfly. How does it go? Sting like a butterfly. No. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
John, you're Italian. I want to be on with Pete on Sunday. Pronounce Pete's last name. Can you see it? You pronounce his last name.
Scarpanetti.
There you go. I didn't want to butcher.
And I wish I could be there. We're going to probably be in Jersey. I'll try to get on that show.
Sunday, we're going to go on. We don't know
what time.
In the morning. You won't be.
Oh, no, I'm out.
You'll be sleeping Sunday.
Well, we're actually doing a big job in Jersey. I'll be there with my crew. So it's going to run through the nights. But I'll watch it afterwards.
Super duper, man. Yeah, that's you're right. What's funny is that when I was a kid, we all, everybody knew Babe Ruth, but I think Babe Ruth actually got more popular as time went on. I think Ali was probably more internationally known than Babe Ruth was, and I do. I believe that. I think Ali had that beat. Obviously, until Michael Jordan came along. Then Michael Jordan.
Well, the world connects now, really, because of the internet around the world. But I have that book. It's in there from the presidential book for Obama. It's in that. It's locked away in here, and I got stuff in my safe. But Babe Ruth, when 1941 Pearl Harbor happened, Babe Ruth already toured Japan. He was world famous, Ron. And what happened was when the kamikazes came in, the only way they can really get psyched and they have the transmissions is let's kill Babe Ruth. That's how they psyched them to come into America to kill themselves because Babe Ruth was top of the game. But you know what? To be honest with you, the biggest athlete in the world, worldwide, was Michael Jordan because the world connected them.
Yeah, that was what it was. It was just
and Ali was 25, 30 years earlier. The world was connected. Babe Ruth, when Babe Ruth was here, there was you couldn't call Japan. There was none of that crap going on. And, I am partial to him because
you could call Japan, but it was over.
Now somebody, the Morse code guys are doing it. Morse code, hey, this is Washington, D.C. So, but, it's all great. You know what? That's all linked in with the industry. The presidents, and I'm going to expound on that further down the road as me and Ron travel along. Linda really, this thing came to notice because the power wash industry is part of the reason. And she wants to come to one of mine and Ron events. She's been to Vegas with me. Charlie Brown?
The big debate, John. Didn't you hear tonight the news?
No, what happened?
Charlie Brown, for the first time, will not be playing this season on network TV. Apple have bought the rights, and you have to have Apple TV to watch it.
It's the way the world's coming to. It's the way the world is. That's why me and Ron are the corner of the market next year.
Cup out tonight. Good.
I love Charlie Brown and peanuts. You know what, though? Me and Ron, listen, Ron said give a tip tonight. If we go the way we think we can go, we're going to go worldwide. And are we going to be like Apple? I don't know. But I think eventually, with my background and Ron's ability to do what he does.
As big as this industry can go, we'll take it there. How's that?
Oh, we're going to go there.
That's it.
It's not a doubt in my mind. If me and Ron pull the plug, because we talked about that, a couple of years from now, we could pull the plug. But if we pull the trigger on this, no
one would believe that two guys met in '99 on the internet. By 2003, we were.
Might have been '98. I think it was '98 I first met you.
But by 2003, we were talking about our plot. We were talking about this, almost 17 years ago. That's what's funny, And you remember I said 2013, the industry wouldn't be ready for a organization until about 2013. And, we gave it a shot. I think we were probably still a little early in the way that technology has changed things. The kind of thing that has to happen has to go a different direction. And we kind of got stuck in the middle of the time warp and technology. And I think it was ready. I just think that, like you said, you've always said this. It's just that it was a bad model. It was wrong. Right. You know what I mean? And that's really what the reality of it is. Revamp this thing, be able to go with an organization that can procure contracts and get contractors work. I don't think that if contractors can get work out of something that we do, there is no way everybody and their brother is going to be affiliated and want to belong to it, period.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I remember we talked about this, me and Ron, so many years ago. And you know what? As Ron does, I got friends over in Australia, the United Kingdom. I got a lot of friends over there, the leader of these groups. Ron's around the world. We can connect all the dots now. And you know what, though? Me and Ron talked about this so many times. The world wasn't ready for this stuff. Ron gave such a valiant effort. He took the UMCC bigger than any org in our industry. And, all this stuff is a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone. So you know what? And I did a lot of the PWNA. I belonged to the PWRA. They failed. I belong to a lot of different groups, so I'm learning. And I made some mistakes.
I'm going to give a tip. I'm going to give everybody a tip. Here it is. Here's the biggest tip. This is the biggest tip of your life, okay? You're going to fail, but never quit, okay? You're going to do things, you're going to fail, and you're going to learn from those things, and then guess what? You're going to take what you've learned, make them better, and make them bigger, and that's basically what we're doing. We've got a lot of experience. We made a lot of mistakes along the way. And I'm going to tell you this time, we're going to make mistakes, but guess what? We're going to fix them and we're going to move forward. And the biggest thing I can tell you guys, Don't ever quit. There's so many.
Never quit. Never, ever quit.
John and I have been around these guys in this industry.
60 years between the two of us, Ron. 60 years.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen guys in this industry. They'll quit, reinvent it, go into something, quit another thing, go on to another thing. I mean, it's incredible what we've watched guys do.
Right.
And it's okay. They reinvented themselves. But the bottom line is they quit.
They quit.
And guys, that you can't win if you quit. It's over.
You know, I have an attitude. I tell people this. You're right. The best lesson you can learn is when you fail. The biggest risk takers learn from their failures, right? I have a little different take on that because I'm not. Look, I guess you could say I'm an entrepreneur. But the one thing I told people years ago, even when we hit the rough times of 2008 and 9, I know Raymond Berg talked about the real estate. He was in that. Everything failed. The one thing I've done to keep me here 25 years since 96, so I guess 25 years, I refuse to fail. And I hit some tough times with the Swaby franchise, over $100,000. 10 of us, 9 of us went bankrupt. I was still here. I just refused to quit. I refused to fail. I kept fighting. And here I am today. And now me and Ron joined forces because we both know what our weaknesses are. We both know what our strengths are. And we work together very, very well. And Ron's strengths are here where I can be here, and then I can be here. Ron can be here. And I think, I really, really think, Ron, you know this. The only one can stop me and Ron is the same thing can stop Donald Trump. And if it does stop Donald Trump, he caused it to himself. The only way we don't succeed here.
One thing, stop yourself. You control your own destiny. That's
I control my own destiny.
Hey, John, on that note, that is a great tip. Both of us verified it. Guys, you know what? Great show tonight, John. I appreciate it.
2 weeks.
Guys, do not forget this. On the 13th and 14th, Craig Harrison's having that event. The registration is in there, guys. Just go to it and get signed up. It's free. We're going to look forward to seeing you there. Pete, I know you're still listening. Get the ticket and just come out. You know it's beautiful out here. You know you want to be – Pete wants to be out in Arizona. So come on out, Pete, and have some fun with us. We look forward to it. We're going to have Trudy and Jerry McMillan on next week. Right, John?
Yeah, and you know what I'm going to do here? Because, Ron, Craig Harrison's having a social on the 12th and the 13th. My class with Ron is from 1 o'clock to like 5:30. When we hit a bar after that, everybody in my class that's in my class first round is on me. That's it. I'm gonna put on my tab, and I'll know who's in my class. I always watch my tab because I got nailed one time in Memphis years ago, and I had to deal with the hotel when the tab was like this, and these people were not involved with me. So first round, everybody in my class.
I had some big tabs, man. I mean,
oh yeah, I know. I saw your tabs when we had 15 shots coming.
Ginormous, man. Ginormous.
Yeah. And I want everybody to go to my class.
Trudy will be there. Trudy will be there, so don't worry about that.
I can't wait to meet her. She's a dynamo. She's unbelievable.
She can pound a couple of them away. That's for darn sure, man.
Looking forward to it.
John, Pete says he's coming. He's getting on the plane now. He's going to join your garage cleaning class too. You watch. He'll probably.
You better get there because 9 more tickets. I'll sell them in a week, and that's it.
All right. Hey, John. See you next week, man. We'll go live Sunday. If you get up, we'll be on live with Pete. Join us, man. You guys take her easy. We're out. Ron Musgraves, Pressure Washing Institute, Contractors First.